I'm just waiting on getting the notifications.
Okay.
Boom. And we are live. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to a very special edition of Off the Record on the People's Podcast this afternoon. We have an incredible guest with us live from Puerto Rico who's going to give us some amazing information as well as inspiration. And that is none other than the incredible Mr. We getting a little bit, it's a little bit loud over there, but Christopher O'Banion. And how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing phenomenal. How are you today?
I'm doing great, sir, as well. The first question, and first of all, thank you on behalf of myself and my family and the viewing audience of the People's Podcast. We want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come have a conversation with us. The first question that we have for you today, sir, is how did you get into the field of business that you deal with, tech and things of that nature?
Okay. Well, my background was I was in the Air Force for 10 years. I was an air traffic controller. And also I got a chance to fly F-16s. I was in from 1979 to 1989. Then after I got out of the military, I became a financial planner. So I love money. I love making money. And I loved also helping people. So I was in the financial planning field for about 17 years. And it was getting near the end of the century, 1999. And in December of 1999, there's a gentleman that approached me when I was living in Chicago and said, hey, I want you to open up an office in Chicago building websites. Now, websites were just starting being built in 1999. And I said, well, I don't know anything about websites. He says, well, 8 out of 10 businesses don't have a website. I said, well, what do websites do? He said, they help people grow their information. They can do business online. I said, okay, I'm in. So my first month in January of 2000, I started WebSource International. And my first month, I sold 14 websites and made about $7,000. Because I would go business to business in the communities in Chicago, South Side, West Side, Loop, North Side areas. And I would just say, hey, you guys have a website? They're like, no, what's that? Oh, you need one. And as it turned out, I started building the business. And then 2 years in, I started to add e-commerce. And e-commerce was where you could sell your products and services online, where that was never done before. And that's where there was the shopping cart technology. So I worked with that. And then I started providing the merchant credit card processing along with the website development. And then a couple of years after that, I acquired the technology. So that technology, which was called ASP at the time, Active Server Page, it allowed me to build websites quickly instead of the regular HTML. I'm not getting very technical, but I can build websites quickly and help businesses get online so they can do well and start making money. And then once I acquired the technology, the money was coming directly to my company. And the only other thing I had to deal with then was just the servers where the websites were hosted and maintained. But a year after that, I acquired my own servers. So basically, in 3 to 4 year period of time, I started WebSource International with an idea. I started helping businesses all around, Chicago, and then throughout the Midwest, and then internationally in Canada, the United Kingdom, and then also in Mexico. So then what ended up happening is that it became a great opportunity to allow people in other locations to learn my technology and basically take it with them to open up operations in other countries. So it was pretty much a turnkey operation, but remember, the web was growing. Most people weren't doing business online. They knew about the internet, but they didn't understand how to use it and also how to monetize it. So as we fast forward, I then became a vendor with Chicago Public Schools, and I started building websites for CPS. I became a vendor with the city of Chicago. I started building websites for the city. And then I also became a vendor with the state of Illinois, where I would basically build websites whether it's for the city of Chicago Heights, if it's other water departments, other things, I was able to use my technology to branch out and do more, with the website development. But then something crazy happened. They started asking me questions. They said, well, do you know anything about computers? I said, no, but I got my guy. And he was Black. His name was Jimmy Ambrose. And he had a company called NetUp Technologies. And when we had to go put in a computer lab, or we had to network or put in a server for operations, he and I would partner together. And then now, guess what? We have the website, we have the online, and now we have the computers. Then they asked the question, well, do you know anything about video surveillance cameras? I'm like, oh, well, my buddy Jimmy, he was installing video surveillance cameras also. So then we started adding that as a service under our roof. Then they started asking, hey, well, do you guys know anything about IT, and how to put all these wireless access points in? And guess what? We started branching out. So now when we went in to see a customer, we would build a website, we would do their e-commerce, we would do their credit card processing. We then put in point of sale systems, everything for the technology. If it's a restaurant or retail, we would put all that in, and we're a one-stop shop. Now, then the next thing happened is that after video surveillance, they asked, well, do you guys have apps? And remember, that app marketplace started like in 2008, 2009. So I started building an app. I'm an Apple developer. I'm a Google Play developer. I was an Amazon developer. So as I would build apps, we would put them in the Apple store, or the Google Play store, or we put them in, Amazon, for the things that they did. And that basically allowed us to be able to offer more services. Well, the great thing happened was that now we would go out to see a company, whether they're brand new or if they're an existing company, and we can not only just say, well, do you have a website, or do you have an app, or do you need video surveillance? All the services we could put together under one roof, so we could cross-sell everything. No other company could do that. Now watch this. If you know someone who has their business, they have to go to someone for a website, they have to go to someone for an app, they have to go to someone for their computers, their servers, their point of sale system, their cameras, and all those things don't talk to each other. So I became the easy button, and then I could go in and consult with them, and they all needed me no matter what. Can you imagine that? So we started contacting cities like the city of San Diego, the cities Santa Ana, California, up north in San Jose, California. Then we started contacting Atlanta and the Cobb County area in Georgia, New Orleans, in Virginia. And we would find listings of all brand new businesses that opened up. And it's public knowledge that you can get all these listings just by going to the website. And then we would just contact the business owner, and we would say one thing: hey, I understand you just opened up your new business. Congratulations. Tell me about your pizza place. Tell me about your car repair place. Tell me about your mortgage company. Tell me about whatever. And they're so happy, they share all the information. And then we ask them a few questions. Oh, I was looking for you guys online. What's your website address? Oh, you don't have one. Okay, are you guys in the App Store yet? Oh, you're not? Okay, what payment options are you taking right now? How can people pay for your services? Oh, you don't have that yet. Okay, well, what about video surveillance cameras? Do you guys have that installed? No, not yet? Oh, okay. Well, the reason I'm asking you, my name is Christopher O'Banion. My company is WebSource International, and we provide custom technology solutions for businesses. At that time, they're like, oh my God, really? And I said, when's a good time that we could talk and maybe spend about 15 to 30 minutes, and we can walk through some things so we can see how we can help you. And the first thing that they always say is tomorrow, or can we talk today? And what ends up happening is that I'm basically guiding them for all the things that they need anyway. So if somebody comes in and says, hey, here's the keys to your new business. All right, you're in business. What do you do first? You got to get power to the building. You got to get a place. You got to get a cash register. I mean, you got to get all these different things. and you're going to all these people and they don't have a clue where to go.
Mm-hmm.
Then we come in and I just ask them a question. Do you have access to the internet while we talk on the phone? And they said, yes. And then I take them to my website, websourceinternational.com or websourcepuertorico.com now, since I'm here in Puerto Rico. And they click and I can just show them and tell them about every product and service. Now, the thing is, I don't have to sell them because they need it. They're going to get it from someone, and they got to have money to get whatever they have to do. But now my retention rate is over 90% because customers aren't leaving me going to company B, C, D, or E because they know that I can help them with all the things that they need.
Mm-hmm.
So over the last 22 years, that's what I've been doing, growing, developing, building relationships. And I built probably well over 2,500 websites in the last 22 years. So, if you look at it, the value that we do is that we make it affordable. And remember, if we're dealing in our community, okay, there's some people who don't want to pay. And there's some people that want things cheap. There's some people that just want to get over. So what I do is I work within their budget. I ask them a series of questions to gauge where they are financially so we can see how we can help them. Okay. Now, if we do that, guess what happens? Then people are able to say, oh, okay, I like and trust you because the price isn't way up here. The price is where they, we're allocating money to do what they have to do. Now, if I give them a website, let's just say for $500, or I give them a website for $5,000, it's in their budget. But I can work things out because I'm also going to help them with their app. I'm going to help them with their cameras. I'm going to help them with credit card processing and all these other different things. I'm going to earn money as a company, but that revenue stream is repeated every year. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The biggest challenge for our Black-owned businesses is that no one is guiding them how to conduct business. They think it either has to be the most expensive or it has to be the cheapest, but we have to find solutions that will allow them to do everything that they need to do. Now, here's the great thing about it. Not only did it work in the Black community, it worked in the Asian community, it worked in the Hispanic community, it worked in the Polish community, it worked in the Greek community. All these places I went, and this is the thing about Chicago. Chicago's all about building relationships. Hey, how you doing? Come on in. Hey, what's going on? And I always ask them one question. What made you open up your restaurant? Oh, my mom, my uncle, they came from the country, blah, blah, blah. Really? Oh, tell me about it. So why'd you take over? Well, I wanted to get involved. We don't talk anything about price, products, or services. We just get to know who they are. If we do that with our Black-owned businesses, now I can give gab and I can be cool and I can be very professional. I can be very stoic and I can be like, yo, man, I can be crazy. But the reality is it's the relationship that you build that allows them to like and trust you because people will only do business with people that they like and trust. You understand what I mean? So if we're doing that, that's going to allow people to now do one of two things. One, be very happy that you're there and get all the help that they need. But then the second thing is that they're going to tell their friends. And 80% of my business comes from referrals. Now, imagine this. I build a website for a customer, let's just say for $2,000. It covers the first year. The website has to renew, let's just say for around $500 each year. Well, if they refer 2 customers to me that I help out with websites during that 1 year period, their $500 renewal for the next year is free. So guess what happens? Oh, I'm gonna give you my cousin. I got a business partner over here. Yeah. Hey, y'all need to talk to Chris. And the thing about it is that people say, well, don't I lose money? I said, no, because I'm getting new customers all the time. But the incentive is that I'm rewarding my customers for their longevity. And then I'm training them and I'm teaching them, I'm showing them all the value of the things that have to be done. One thing I also have been doing is that I also help people start businesses. The biggest challenge for a lot of our Black-owned businesses or Blacks who are trying to get in business, they don't know what to do. They don't know where to go. They get taken advantage of. Oh, I got to go to an accountant. I got to go to an attorney. No, I sit down with them and I educate them. Here's some basic things you need to know, and I'm glad you showed them expound upon this. The first thing that you need to do is be incorporated in whatever state that you're in. Corporation can be either LLC, it can be C corporation, S corporation, it can be LLP if it's a partnership, it can be a sole proprietor. I tell people, don't be a sole proprietor because the risk is on you and they can take all your assets. But if you're a corporation, then that way you're an entity and an entity lasts forever. Okay? To get your business incorporated might cost anywhere from $100 to $300 depending upon the state that you're in. Once you pay that fee, you're deciding what your business name is going to be and everything like that. It's going to list who your officers are, or if it's just you, you're the officer. The next thing we do, we go to irs.gov. And with irs.gov, guess what we do? We get your federal tax ID number. And then when we do that, that's free. And then they send it to you via email because they register to you and send you a PDF. You then have your articles of incorporation from the state that you're in. You have your federal tax ID number. Then you take that and you go to the bank and you open up your business checking account. You know what that does? That legally allows you to do what? Be in business, and now you are in business for yourself. Well, here's the question. Well, I don't know what business I want to be in. Great, you're still an entity. Let's decide on what it's going to be. Well, I'm a handyman. Great. Your company is ABC Handyman Services. Okay, you're incorporated. Well, I do lawn maintenance and everything. I said, well, great. Your name is ABC Landscaping or whatever it's going to be. Once you open up that account, now you can legally get paid, and that money comes to your corporation. And people think, well, if I make money, I don't want the government to know. It's okay. The government can know. Because when you have a business, you make money, and then you have something called expenses. And usually in business, you can write off just about everything in your business. Why? Because that's called a business expense. Your business can pay you a salary. Your business can pay you a bonus. Your business can pay for your car. Your business can pay for a home or a building or buildings. You understand what I mean?
Yes, sir.
People they think everything's all about them, and it's not. So then after they open up that business checking account, guess what I tell them to do? I said, who's your cell phone service through? Well, we have AT&T, or we have T-Mobile, or we have whatever. Okay, go down there and open up a new account in your business name. Why? Because that's the easiest way to do business credit. Now watch this. I can go to T-Mobile right now with my new tax ID number here in Puerto Rico. They will give me 3 free iPhone 14s just because I have a business account. But if I go as a person, I got to pay all this money for a new iPhone. What's the difference? It's called building your business credit, right? Then the next thing you can do, you can go out and buy a car, or you can lease a vehicle or a truck or whatever you need for your business. And guess what happens? Now you're able to do what? You're able to now have more business lines for your business. The next thing I tell people to do is register with Dun and Bradstreet. It's called DNB, so DNB.com. And then you register because now you're getting your DNB number, which allows you to build more business credit for yourself. What does that do for you? Well, now when somebody comes to investigate your company, they're not looking at Christopher O'Banion and my social security number. They're looking at WebSource International. If you search WebSource International right now, you'll see my earnings, and I'm not bragging or anything like that, average go over $150,000, $170,000 a year. Okay, that's in DNB, that's in their database. They see that. So when they check me out, they're like, oh, okay, he's good. Or if you're a brand new business, they're like, oh, he's just getting started. Let's help him with this, and this. And then that way things can start working. We can get a line of credit. You can do other type of things to make it work. Now, the other thing I try to do is that if you are going to be in business, get a business plan done. A business plan basically means that you took the time to think of how you're going to have your ice cream shop or your car repair or your seamstress business in the marketplace. You've done research, you've done this, you check this, you check that. Well, Chris, that costs money. I know. It's called stepping stones to build your business. But if you don't do that, guess what happens? You're running by the seat of your pants. If you go to the bank or if you go to somewhere to get a loan or money or anything like that, the first thing they say, oh, can we see your business plan? Oh, I don't have one. Or you can just say, oh, here it is. And you provide it to them. And now they look at you in a whole different mindset. You can be a brand new business. It's okay. But they're looking at, okay, you're forecasting this year, the next year, the next year, the next year. And it's really helping you to learn how to put all that together. So then that way you can move forward. Now, guess what else happens? Black-owned businesses don't have training manuals. They don't have operating procedures, policies and procedures. Now watch this. Have you ever been to McDonald's? Didn't say that the food is good or anything like that, but in order to get a McDonald's, you need $1 million. And then one of the things they send you to McDonald's University to teach you McDonald's stuff. And then when you get your franchise or you get your location, you got all these books and training manuals of what, how, whatever. Because they have a 17-year-old person working the counter. They got a 22-year-old or 25-year-old cook that's in there. But when something goes beep or boop or whatever, the fries are ready, the burger needs to be flipped, you know, the drink is dispensing, and it's a machine, it just works. So they're teaching them how to do the certain things that have to be done. Why don't we do that for our business? Because we're never taught how to put things together. But if you don't lay it out, how can you inspect what you expect? Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So if you have an operating procedure that says 6 a.m., put the key in the door, turn off the alarm, start prep, whatever that you're going to be doing. You follow all these checklists, and guess what happens? Everybody goes off of all the different things that need to be done, and it's monitored and it's executed. Okay, that's my military background. Why? Because when we had to do things, when I was an air traffic controller, guess what? Click, click, check, everything you had to do had to be precise. And if it wasn't, you were in trouble. Okay. And if you try to fly a F-16 fighter plane, guess what? There's checklists and everything that you got to go through before you get to the plane, when you get to the squadron, when you put your flight suit on, you know, all the other different things. Then you got to inspect the aircraft, then you got to get in the aircraft, and then you got to listen to controls of how to take off. Well, if they didn't have that, guess what happened? Nothing. It would be the wild, wild west, and nothing would happen. So look at your business as that's your baby. You want the very best. You want to make it work, and you want to attract people who are going to come in who have the aptitude to learn. Now, another thing is, in business, people who work for you are not your friends. They're your employees, but you can have a relationship with them. Did you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
You can't have your boy, oh, that's my boy, and he out drinking all night. And you can't have my girl, oh, she couldn't make it because she's got family issues or whatever like that. No, you have certain things that you allow them to do, but they have to step up and they got to get themselves prepared. You know, in the nation, if you ain't prepared, you're going to sit down, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If you're supposed to serve this week, or you're supposed to do this and that, and you don't show up and you don't do the things that you have to do, guess what? Brother, we're not going to have you this time. We're going to have brother such and such fill in for you. We're going to put you back in remedial training.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You understand? And there's nothing wrong with that because it's not personal. It's just an expectation of how things has to be done. Now, I said I've had my company for 22 years.
Yes, sir.
I'll be 62 pretty soon. I'm tired. My son's 43.
Mm.
He works for Mercedes down in Houston, and he's doing really great with his family. When I came here, I made adjustments because I was trying to cut back on my business and cut back on other things. The reason for that is because when you're doing so much for all these years, sometimes you just need to, it's not about the money, it's about quality of life. So living here in Puerto Rico, it's 85 degrees year round. It's beautiful. I just got a house, 3-bedroom, 2-story house. I'm in it right now. I'm paying $550 a month, $550 a month to live in paradise. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And then I'm getting it converted because I'm going to open up an Airbnb. So people can come in. I got 3 bedrooms upstairs. Hey, y'all, 75 a night. Boom, boom, boom. Do that for a month. You're making yourself $6 to $8 grand a month income. But it's monetizing things. It's doing things. And that's the part where people have to understand is that you can always reinvent how to do things, but you have to be persistent with it. Last thing I'll talk about is I was referred to contact you, and you contacted me by Sister Claudette Muhammad.
Yes, sir.
I've done a lot of things with her over the years. I know her life story. I've put her life story together on the web for the whole world to see. I've met many fine people within the Nation of Islam that I've worked for, been customers of mine, good friends. But that's why we're doing this, because of the relationships. It's the relationships that are built. Everything's not about money. When you send information over to me, I say, oh, I'll put it up there for, I didn't have to charge her any extra money. I just said, what format it is in? Oh, it's this format. Okay. Boom, we did it in a matter of minutes. It was up, it was live. And you looking at it, and she's screaming like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing in the world. And that's the part where you are giving of your talents and you're giving of your time. If any Black business has to do something, they have to find out what's in it for themselves. Why? Why are you doing what you're doing? And we're not talking about the money aspect. It's just that what's in you that makes you different, that people are going to look at and just say, oh my God, I got to go to her. I got, what was that restaurant? Sweetie Pies. Remember Sweetie Pie?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sweetie Pie. Oh man, everybody went to St. Louis, Sweetie Pies, because they, oh man, that food was just a bomb and it was great, good and everything like that. But that's unique. And we went there for that experience, and they had music, and St. Louis is a nice place to be. And then coming to Atlanta, the same type of thing, or going to Cincinnati or going to Chicago. I mean, there's so many places and things that you can do. But when you go there, people will look at you and say, oh, I know you. I remember you. Hey, aren't you, what's your name? I said, Christopher O'Bannon. Yeah. I remember you. Didn't you coach football? I sure did. Man, I remember you, coach. Or didn't you do this? Yeah, weren't you in the military? Or didn't you have a business? Weren't you working with the schools? Weren't you working with the government and everything? I said, yeah, that's me. Why? Because it's the relationship and the lasting impression that you leave upon people. So really, I got probably close to 37 years of business experience. It's all about that relationship and helping people get what they want. If I help you get what you want, guess what's going to happen? You're going to explode. You're going to do things that are just going to be phenomenal. I work with another young lady, and she's actually teaching people how to do podcasts. Why are podcasts important? Because if you could take your medium and teach people how to do a podcast, or why their business should have a podcast, or how their business can benefit and grow. It reminds me of, I think it was like almost 10 years ago, I had a radio show called Indie Talk of the Town. And I would basically invite my customers to come be on the radio show, this internet radio. And I'd invite all their friends from Facebook, from Instagram, all the different social medias. And they would see their friends on the radio, because I would live stream it on Facebook and also on YouTube. And they're like, oh my God, you're being interviewed, whatever. But what happened is that medium of internet radio or, podcasts weren't really in place then. It was a medium where we went from 0 listeners to over 30,000 in 2 months.
Mm.
Do you understand what I mean? All because social media is viral. So if you could take your platform and use it as a vehicle to teach people how to become an entrepreneur, doing the same thing, they're not in competition with you. It could be for a person could be a good personal trainer, and he just wants to do that. Well, he can use this podcast in that arena. There could be somebody who's a good mechanic and is going to teach people. There's a good person who's a landscaper, or there's an artist, or whatever it might be. Because now what's going to happen is that now you're helping each one of those businesses grow, but now their businesses are growing because of the medium of the Zoom or the other podcasts, Spotify, Apple, all the different ones.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So that's another medium, and everybody wants it. Because of COVID, guess what happened? Businesses shut down, internet usage went up. Zoom and what's the other one? Exploded.
StreamYard.
Huh?
StreamYard?
Yeah. The other Zoom type broadcast.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and people are just like, wow, so now Zoom is a household word. I'm gonna Zoom you. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. And that's where you can use the technology that will really help bridge the gap for people who are younger, people who are a little older, people who are my age, and people even older than me, where we can all be intertwined. Now, here's the other good thing. If you do that, people can advertise through your medium. And just imagine if you're doing a 30-minute show or a 1-hour show, and you talk about 2 or 3 sponsors. They're paying you. Yes.
Yes, sir. Well, speaking of my sponsors, we have a quick 60-second commercial break with your permission for my sponsorship, if I could.
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. And people are showing you love all over the country. So Trinache, not personal, it's business. Beautiful, good information. Thanks to the song. Thank you from Massachusetts, our brother Nelson Ramos. Thank you, everybody who continues to like, share, and subscribe to the People's Podcast. And we can't wait to put this on YouTube as well. 1 second. Okay, hold on. Here we go, sir. We have a quick 60-second commercial break. You've given us some powerful information. And where can we find you, sir, online, or where can people reach out to you to support your business?
They can contact me, websourcepuertorico.com. So web, WEB, source, SOURCE, and the word puertorico.com. That's my company website.
Okay, perfect. Yes, sir. All right, here we go. 1 second. So many people are showing you love all across the country, and they wanted to know exactly what is the information. Where can they get you? And thank you for letting us know. Okay, of course.
They can contact me there, and then I'll give you a contact number that you can share with them.
Okay, yes, sir. And we will put the information in the link. 1 second.
Okay.
Perfect. All right, there's And thank you, sir, for giving us this information. This is what we call free game. He's putting us on to a lot of information, and this is valuable information, and we need this. 1 second.
Oh, definitely.
And thank you to all of our sponsors who have donated this month and continue to donate. Oh, here we go. 1 second. All right. All right, sir. All right, here we go. There we go. Perfect.
Brother Rashad Street Premier. He has a 4K camera and a drone. He does television and film editing. Please reach out to him if.
Of course, all right. Here we go. Thank you very much. A little Wi-Fi issue. There we go. Locked in now. Blah, blah, blah. Make sure everyone can see the screen of all the sponsors. All right.
Brother Rashad Street Premier. He has a 4K camera and a drone. He does television and film editing. Please reach out to him if you need any of those services. Sister Miriam's ABC I Love Me, children's book and coloring book, and now Spanish book. All three available on Amazon.com. Sister Naima's Stay on Point Dance Academy, LLC. She teaches ballet virtually to young girls all across the country, right here in the studios of Atlanta, Georgia. Rock Communications. If you're working on a book and you need copy, editing, project management, content development, or media relations, please reach out to Rock Communications. Student Minister Robert L. Muhammad's Conflict Mediation, squashing the beast throughout the Southwest region. He does a phenomenal job. His wife, Sister Fudia Muhammad's Giving Birth to a God and the Science of Child Rearing. Please make sure you go out and get a copy of her book as well. Fashion Gods, urban streetwear clothing for men and boys. 314-329-6009. He'll keep you dressed in the best of fashion. Brother Kenneth's Bow Tie Maker Extraordinaire. He'll ship you bow ties anywhere across the nation. Taj Hollywood's Chemistry 6 episode, a new television series out on YouTube. He's looking for actors and writers. Make sure you support him. Keep It Hood, helping others overcome depression. Also by Taj Hollywood. Brother Aaron's Elevated Places, stress management, real estate, credit, repair, and restoration. His Respect for Life Center. They do personal wellness, philosophy, emotional, and mental spiritual wellness. 229-344-1474. Dr. Henry Carter's King Henry Turkey Legs, right here in Atlanta, Georgia. Brother Rashad Muhammad's COVID-19 Disinfected Cleaning Services, out of Chicago. Student Minister Sharif Muhammad's book, A Soldier in the Movement of Christ, available on adulsharif.com. And lastly, Brother Joshua Muhammad's book, Cleopatra, as well as No Father, No Excuse, both available on Amazon.
Perfect. All right. Thank you also all the sponsors, and thank you to our brother Christopher O'Banion. You've given us great information, sir. We have just a few more questions for you, if you don't mind, sir. Is that okay?
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, sir. You spoke about your son, and what advice would you give to future fathers?
Well, I had two sons. One of my sons, unfortunately, he died November 11th last year in an automobile accident. He was just 41 years old. My other son, he's 43 now, but I have a daughter who's 22. For fathers, be there for your children, number one. Number two, set the example and set the standard and don't let them slide. Number three, be sober. I'm not just talking about alcohol, I'm talking about sober-minded. So you can have clarity, you can think properly, you can pray together, you can learn how to do things together. I raised my two sons in the streets of Chicago. I was a football coach. I was in their school every single day because with my company, I could have the freedom, but I would do spot drop-ins and visits and things of that nature. I was PTA president. I was local school council. I'm there because I wanted them to be alive. The streets are unkind. The other thing is don't have any weapons in the house. Your children, your sons will find them and misuse them. I don't care what you say. If you're living in the city, it's different than living in the country or in the rural areas. So, be abreast of what's going on. And then the last thing is investigate their friends. If somebody's going to come by your house, interrogate them. And, don't play. And just let them know that, you don't have any nonsense for drugs, gangs, other type of things like that. And the reason I'm saying all this is just that once your kids leave out that door, they get influenced by so many other people. And then the other thing is that if you can have your sons go into the military, I recommend that they do. because between the ages of 18 and 28, they have to learn how to walk, chew gum, pee straight, do everything that they need to do. But if they're just going to be out there in the street, it's not going to really work. There are going to be too many distractions. And there's nothing wrong with having benefits like being able to buy a house, no money down. There's nothing wrong with having benefits of getting free education by serving. And there's nothing wrong with having lifetime free medical coverage. So if you think about it, every young Black man, if they can have those things, that gives them more than a hand up to be able to go out there, get their house, get their family together, and not have the pressures that are facing a lot of other people. And the last thing is just have fun with them. You know, you gotta have fun. You can rough them up a little bit, you know, because you're the old lion, and they're gonna roar a little bit. You just got put them in check. But the greatest story I had is my one son went to the military. He was a military policeman, and he came back from boot camp, and he in uniform. He's like, "Hey, Pops, what's going on?" He took my hand, he took my thumb, and put me down on the ground. He's like, "Yeah, I've been waiting to do that." And I was like, okay, you got me. And then as soon as I got up, I stole him right in his chest. And he's like, "Pops." I said, "Look, I'm still your pops. That was good, you got me, but I got you." And so that respect is always there. But it's not that I hurt him. It was just enough to just let him say, "Hey, okay, all right, that's cool." But that's what dads do.
Yes,
if you don't have that type of respect, you're feckless. You're not really doing what you got to do. So that's the advice I'd have for the young Black men.
Beautiful. Okay, great. Yes, sir. Now, my next question for you is, I see that you have a Cowboys jersey on. So I'm assuming that means that what is it about the Cowboys that makes you like them so much?
Well, being from Chicago, the Bears sucked back in the 60s. They couldn't win nothing. And when I was 8 years old, I saw that star on the side of the helmet. It said Cowboys, and I fell in love with it. Dallas was better than the Bears, but they were doing a whole lot more than what the Bears were doing. So I became a Cowboys fan back then. And we only have 5 Super Bowl rings afterwards, but the bottom line is, it's a great team, great program. And everybody's saying, "Well, you haven't done anything lately." I said, "But we still got 5." The Bears got 1. You see, everybody talks about the 85 Bears, but but the Cowboys are, they'll be okay.
Yes, sir. Okay. So shout out to Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, Jay Noble, Primetime, Michael Irvin, all of them guys who did the thing. Yes, sir, for sure. All right. If you could choose your favorite album, what album of all time, what would your favorite album be, sir?
Woo! I think it would be Roy Ayers' Ubiquity. Roy, if you don't know who Roy Ayers is, Google it, Ubiquity album. And there's 3 songs on there that, well, actually 4 songs that will just, you hear them all the time because they sample them for just about everything. You Send Me, Everybody Loves the Sunshine, My Life, My Life, My Life.
Okay, yes, sir.
And Run, Run, Run was Roy Ayers. And then, so that's my favorite group.
Okay, you definitely put me on. I'm going to Google it. I got to figure out, I know the music now that you said it, but I didn't know the name. Okay, great.
Oh, yeah.
Wonderful. Yes, sir. And my last question for you, sir, is what would you like your legacy to be?
I'm glad you said that. My son passed, and at his funeral, I talked about what is your dash? You were born, and then there's that dash. And what are they going to write on your tombstone? Here lies a stud. Here lies, he was a good father. He was a good business person. He did this, or it's going to be silent. So I tried to make my life an open book for not only my son to follow, but also other people to understand and believe and follow. Most people think you could take your life with you. But once you're gone, you're gone. But what people will do when you die is that they will come back and talk about the memories. So I want my legacy to be about man, I remember 1975. I remember 1980. I remember 1990. I remember 2002. I mean, you know, all these different, and all the people and all the places around the world that I've been. I want that to be the legacy so that my son, my daughter, my grandchildren will be able to say, Grandpa went here, you know, Pops went here, Pops did this, Pops did that. And I enjoyed life because living in Puerto Rico, people are like, why you go to Puerto Rico? I said, because it's warm. There's no racism, and people look just like you and me. and the cost of living is lower, and I'm enjoying a better quality of life. Where else can you go? I'm still in the United States. I still got a VA hospital. I still got all the other different things. I got T-Mobile phone service, 5G. I'm straight, you know, but if you go other places, you're isolated and everything like that. But no, here, my legacy is I'm just starting a new chapter in my life for the next 40 years. Till I'm 100. Then I'll slow down a little bit.
It's beautiful, beautiful. Well, you've given us a lot of great information as well as inspiration, sir. Once again, on behalf of myself, my family, and the viewing audience of the People's Podcast, we thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come have a great conversation with us. We're going to put this on YouTube today, and thank everyone who continues to like, share, subscribe. This is Joshua Leonard Muhammad signing off for the People's Podcast. Have a good day, sir.
You did great. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
All right, bye-bye.